guys, wanna talk about hot pot while we make some fake virtual hot pot? So here's the thing. I like cooking games in general. I have quite a few of them. I even made a review for all of Cook Serve Delicious titles that you can still find somewhere on my channel. Infinity Nikki comes out and releases this as a mini-game. And this is all that it is. You pick the right ingredient, you throw it in, you feed it to your client, you mix this up, and then collect the pieces. And with some ingredients, it's almost impossible to even see what you're collecting. My least favorite thing to try and scoop out of here, and if you miss the thing that you're scooping, is actually what I believe is bacon, because they're just flavor slice. This is fresh slice, this is flavory slice, which I think is just bacon. And that's because in this broth, bacon is absolutely invisible. But what I'm trying to say is that this is all that there is to the minigame. You can't really lose it. You can scoop it out wrong, and you can give them the wrong order, and all that you get is you won't get progress towards the next level. And if you can see, you press the upgrade bit, and then you upgrade through levels all the way up until level 10. And that's where rewards end. That's where the point in playing this ends. It doesn't change, it's not timed, there's nothing else for you to cook. It's just this. You put it in the broth, you mix it up until they float up. You can't just not do the whole mixing thing, but it makes it go even slower. Then you scoop it out, and you put it in a plate, and you serve it, and nothing about this gameplay changes level to level. This is the gameplay, and it feels like a more limited cooking game. There's only one meal that you're doing. It doesn't really get harder level to level. There isn't really a time pressure. You can't really lose favor with your customers. You can't lose your progress. It's just, you do this, you grind it out until you hit level 10. You climb all of your rewards, and you abandon it for forever. And this takes time and effort to make for the developers. This costs resources to make, and after this month, we're not gonna be using it ever again. Mind you, there is a similar game that we got just last patch, and it is Raising Your Behemoth. And it is still there. You can still raise your behemoth. But everybody got all the rewards to do with raising the behemoth last patch, so why would people do that? And what was that game? It was like a raise your own child simulator, but behemoth, and make it a lot more limited. See a pattern? Because I see a pattern. Anyway, my computer hates when I record this game, so I'm just gonna switch off the game and go back to my web browser, and we can continue our discussion there. Hello, welcome to my browser. Last month, 1.2.1 update, the whole behemoth growing event was actually hated enough that people even full went the rewards and just not went with growing it. Like, am I the only one having a hard time finishing the events of this update? Like, they're so boring and confusing and tedious, especially the behemoth one. Ugh, might be the first time that I skip an event. I'm struggling hardcore this time around and feeling so burnt out. Can we have fun and silly and not as complicated and time-consuming events back in the game, please? Or fully ignore that behemoth raising event. Yes, I raised 1.5 behemoth and fully said, well, guess I'm missing out on 300 gems. Like, I'ma be so real. This is the first event that I didn't push through, grind, and finish. Raising the first one said bye-bye, and then the second one turned up and I was fully bored. Like, I liked the animal puzzle game way more. Excited for the next season though, and this time around, people are mostly dunking on the fact that the NPCs always order the exact same thing. In the Hotpot game, the Hotpot was also unplayable on PS5 when it released, but it is fixed now. So we have, when my girlfriend asks what I want to eat, and I'm just gonna send her this image because I only want to eat the same things every day, or, girl, I'm cutting you off. I get it, Nikki makes a great mountain mushroom and silken bean curd hot pot, but after the 14th time, surely you would want to try something else, queen? I have made this exact dish about 100 times in a row in the space of 25 minutes for this NPC. I'm concerned for her health at this point, so I will not participate in making her any more. So the Behemoth event was wildly hated. The Hot Pot event is coming down kinda okay. But here's the thing. Both are just knockoffs of actual games that you can get. You can get something like Cook Serve Delicious or Cooking Mama to play for yourself. You can get Volcano Princess or Princess Maker, and if you want to just like simulation game to raise a child that will be a lot more in depth, with a lot more endings, with a lot more things to do. Like, these are full games that you can get that are great. And then you come to Infinity Nikki and it's like, we got a game from Temu and it's the flavor of the month. Like, what am I gonna be playing next month, huh? Is it gonna be Mario Party? How about some Tetris Attack? Great, innovative, original ideas. What I don't understand is, they make an okay game. Like, they make an okay mini-game. Because even as a rip-off game of an actual genre of games, these mini-games, they're executed okay. Like, they're not great. They're not the best in their genre, but they're like an okay replacement for the time being. But surely this costs a lot of developmental time for what is gonna be completely abandoned in a month. Because there's no incentive to ever come back here. Once I'm done with the 10 levels of Hotpot, and the only reason why I'm not done with the 10 levels of Hotpot yet is when I was recording this, the second part of the story hasn't dropped yet, so I can't finish my last 4 levels as they're story gated. But like, once I do that, I'm never coming back to the Hotpot game, no matter it's there or not. There's absolutely no incentive. It is an okay game, but would I play it on its own without no rewards to incentivize me to do that? No, because I have, like, this game, the Hotpot thing, legitimately, but in a much better form, in a game where I can cook so many more things, and where my customers might not be so patient, where there's like a gamified mechanic and levels to pass and stars to earn and different dishes to learn and things, gameplay that changes level to level. If I ever want to do a cooking game, I'm gonna go and play the cooking game. I'm not gonna come over to Infinity Nikki to play the rip-off version of a cooking game. That won't be giving me any more rewards once I'm done here. And it's not that uncommon for gachas to have like whole mini games inside a game. Like, I know that there's one recent gacha that came out that was very popular that has like full factory building inside of it, and that a lot of people got like super caught up in that. Genshin Impact has their card game and everything. It's not uncommon to have like a well set up minigame that doesn't quite relate to the rest of the game inside a gacha game. But what other companies do, right, is they make a minigame, and it's a good, polished minigame that gets constant updates, incentives for you to play it, differences in level. It's not an okay thing. It's like, I actually want to play this thing. Where I wouldn't be like, oh, well, I have a cooking game already on my Steam library, so let me just go and fire that up. I would be like, yeah, I want to come to Infinity Nikki and play the hotpot. I am interested in how will my hotpot running go today, but I'm not. Because these developers, they make these mini games that are okay games just for the patch cycle, and it is so incredibly wasteful. Like, I don't understand why they don't take an idea like this and like significantly expand it and build it up so that it's its own thing that we can continuously return to patch after patch after patch. I am confused why they make like an okay minigame and nobody uses it after the patch because there's no incentive, and it's like, it's not good enough to stand up by itself, but we get one like every single patch cycle. I don't understand why you would waste your development resources like that. So, this is not me saying, oh, you know, take Hotpot out or like take Behemoth Raising out. This is me saying, like, look guys, it's okay if several patch cycles we don't get another minigame, right? We just have like a regular little jumpy timed puzzle things, or find gifties, or the story, or some fashion battles. Infinity Nikki does all of those fine, and people look forward to it patch to patch. How about we don't have a new minigame for a while? And then when one comes out, it is the minigame. It is a minigame that changes level to level, that continues being interesting, that has a further tie-in to the rest of the environment, that you're gonna continue updating. Because this kind of system doesn't quite make sense for me, but like, is it just me, guys? Or like, did anyone else notice this? Because I can't quite see the logic here. So what I personally would want is one well-made minigame that continues getting updates. It becomes the minigame, not like disposable minigames like we get patch cycle to patch cycle right now. But that's me. So, what do you guys think? Do you like it the way that it is, or would you like something that's more central and integral, and something that continues getting updates and continues being revisited? I would really like to hear your opinion on this, so tell me in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, and I'm gonna see you in my other videos. Toodaloo.